Tactical Light BSS V4 review. Here it is. Hey, what's up, Warriors? It is Jeff Anderson from WarriorLife.com. And one of the cool things about being in the biz, as we call it in the biz, is getting people reaching out and wanting me to review their tactical gear for free. That's kind of pretty cool. So I did get a call from Thrunite, which manufactures tactical flashlights, and they have a co-branded flashlight with Jack Richland over at Black Scout Survival. That is the BSS V4 tactical flashlight. I was like, hey, cool, send me some loot. I'll go ahead and give you an honest review, even though this thing's free. A review is a review. So I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons. All right. First of all, I am a huge fan of tactical flashlights for everyday carry. I probably use my flashlight more than I use any other piece of gear that I have, including a carry knife that I have. So I'm a huge fan for it. It works really well for tactical purposes, for avoidance, checking out dark areas, even for preparedness. There have been times where I've been in buildings and the lights have gone completely out, and there's me with my shiny little beacon kind of lighting the way for everybody around the room there. So big fan of tactical flashlights, but I am not one of the tactical flashlight geeks that's gonna be able to tell you what the battery stats are for this thing, or the squared anodized screw cap thingy or whatever. I'm more in how it actually functions. So you're gonna get a quick rundown here of what I like and what I don't like about this flashlight. All right, so first of all, the body of it itself, it is anodized aluminum. It is very rugged. The finish on it is supposed to be very durable. I haven't really run it through the test. I haven't put it through a blender or anything like that just yet. It is about 5 3/4 inches long. So it's a little bit longer than the current flashlight that I do carry for my everyday carry. All right. So it's a little bit longer. I mean, it does have a tail cap design for one of the power functions. So there's lots of functions of this flashlight. But I like the tail cap design because then no matter which way you grab it, you're not going around searching for wherever the button is. If you need to deploy it, all you do is put your thumb on the back of it and you're good to go, right? Also, it does come with some other cool thingies in here. So it does come with a carrying case if you're into carrying cases for it. It comes with a little lanyard if you're into little lanyards for it. And I'm not. I don't use a carrying case or the lanyard. It does come with the instructions for it. I'm actually going to talk about that here in just a little bit too. But the other two things that it has here are a red lens filter and a bezel, which is going to make it very tactical, right? So I do carry mine for defensive purposes so that I can use it as a striking instrument. I can use it for avoidance. I do use my flashlight if I'm out in parking lots to be able to light the areas and just kind of shine in spots. And also really just to let bad guys know that I'm more aware, like, you don't want to hit me, hit the little old lady with her groceries over there, but not me. So I use this a lot. So I always have that bezel on there so that if I am ambushed, I have it as a striking instrument that I can use against somebody. At least I've got a tool in my hands, I can get to my gun, and then I'm good to go from there, hopefully, right? So I do like that bezel. Now what I like about this bezel is that it has a deep recess to it. So it's not a shallow attack bezel around the outside, which means that if I do plant this in somebody's coconut, it's not necessarily going to break or shatter the actual lens there, right? Then I don't have a flashlight. So I like the deep recess to it. It is very sharp, so it is gonna crack, it's gonna crack a coconut pretty well there. Now, with the red filter, I do like the red filter also because with it on, it is going to allow me to, if I'm out and I want to stay kind of below the radar, if I'm out in the woods somewhere, like in the military, we always had, if we used a flashlight, which most of the time we didn't, but it would usually have like a red lens on it. So that way it doesn't destroy your night vision. So if you need to see the enemy, but it also doesn't transmit the light as far either. So it's not going to give away your position. So I really like the addition of the red lens on this. Now, one of the reasons I like these kind of screw-on components is because I have had my tactical flashlight taken away from me by TSA on one of my flights. Now that would suck if it was an expensive flashlight. And the Thrunite flashlight, it's not outrageously expensive, but it's more than I want to give some TSA officer at the counter there, right? So what I like is that you can take off the bezel, put this through the X-ray, and then when you get on the other side, slip that bad boy back on there. So that way, it's kind of a good assurance that you're not going to have your light taken away from you. So that's now, as far as the light goes itself, there are a few different things here. So the on-off button on the side is going to give you, I think there's 5 different modes here. So you have Firefly, you've got low, medium, and high. And then you have turbo mode. And then you have strobe mode. So yeah, that's 5, right? You know what I mean. So anyway, with the side light, that's really more for utility. So if I just hold it on, it's going to give me Firefly mode. You can just barely see that right in there. Especially with the red lens going on there instead, I can use this at night. I'm not worried about somebody seeing me from my position. It's not going to destroy my night vision, but I can still get a good light, enough to see through my bug out bag and stuff. So I do like that. It also has a memory function to it. So if I turn this back off and I turn it back on, this is actually going to be at the last placed flash setting that it was on. So if I turn it on and then I hold it down, it's going to go through all the different versions. Not Firefly, it's going to be from low, medium to high. And then when I turn it off and I turn it back on, it's going to remember where it was at. Now that's actually pretty cool because I'm going to go ahead and put it down to low there. So if I turn it off, it's going to come back on at low. So that way, if you have a favorite setting, you can go ahead and do that. Now the back here this is turbo mode. So that's what I like about the tail cap. Like if I'm out there and if I just want to spotlight something, I don't want it steady on, I can just press onto the tail cap here. And this is the turbo mode. Now what I like about the turbo mode is that when I put this baby on, it is over 2,500 lumens. I got to say, the first time I charged this thing up and I went ahead and turned this on, like it blinded me. So one of the drawbacks is if you are in a small area or whatever, you put this thing on turbo, like it is freaking turbo. So it is definitely going to blind somebody. But in a parking lot, that's exactly what you want, right? So turbo mode is serious business. And you can go from, if I got this thing turned on and I'm shining my way around, but then I see somebody, I can actually just go into turbo mode right from where I'm at. So I really do like that feature of it as well. With the side function as well, for those people that do want like a strobe or something to disorient an attacker, it's you've got to kind of work with the side button here. So it's not in the tail cap. The tail cap is only turbo mode. But when it is in the on mode and you triple hit that baby, it is going to go into strobe mode. So it does have the strobe mode there as well. It does not use like a single like AA battery or anything like that. It is actually a USB rechargeable battery, so it's a very powerful battery, and it does last a long time as well. It's got a little charging port right here. Like I said, it does last a long time. It's not like it's going to drain a lot, but it does have an indicator on the outside, so it will be red if it is if it's low on power. All right, so I've told you a lot of the things that I like about the flashlight. Let me go ahead and give you some of the cons to the flashlight. So one is because it has several different features to it, it is going to be a little bit more complicated for you to use, but not very much. It's not hard to learn them, but just know that it's not like a one button instant on, a couple different modes. Like this one has one power button on it and it goes from low, medium to strobe or low to high to strobe, but that's it, right? With this one, you're gonna have to learn a little bit. Again, not hard, but you are gonna have to learn it. And it does come with instructions on how to do it. But here's con number 2. The instructions aren't that great when it comes to the strobe. Like in fact, there's no instructions in here for how to use the strobe. So I had to contact the manufacturer and say, how do I get this thing to strobe? There are some YouTube videos online as well that go over how to do it. So again, once you know it, you know it. But just to know that, well, hell, if you get it, it's like it's just 3 clicks on the actual button here, and that's all it is. So that's good to go. Now, the one thing about that, though, is that if I do have this out and I am spotlighting somebody, to get it to strobe mode is not going to be like an instant thing that you can do if you're into disorienting the attacker in that way. Personally, for me, I don't necessarily need to disorient. Like if I've got that person spotlighted, I've got them spotlighted, and especially with this light, it's going to really be blinding. The biggest con that I found to this with the clip that's on here. Now, I wear my tactical flashlight on my belt. When I wear this one, it's because it's about 5 3/4 inches long. It does stick up a little bit. There's no place to kind of make the belt clip kind of come up a little bit more, so it will kind of come down my body a little bit more. So this part is going to stick up a little bit more. So if you have a manly muffin top, it is going to dig into your side. I'm not at muffin top mode, but it definitely does kind of scratch into my side a little bit. If I'm sitting in the car or whatever, it starts to dig in. So it's not all that comfortable to wear on your belt, which is probably why they have this handy dandy little nylon carrying case here for it. But it gives you kind of one option here to put it through your belt this way. It's also got something for, you can put on a D-ring or something on a backpack or something like that, right? Personally, I think the best place to wear it is inside of your support side pocket. You can just kind of clip it on the on your pocket, put it in there. For me though, that's also where I wear my extra magazine for my firearm. So right now I'm trying to kind of compete with what's the best way for me to actually wear this and use it, because I do like this better than the current flashlight that I have. It has more features, it's way more powerful. I do like it more. I'm just still trying to play with where do I actually have it. So if you have any ideas of where I should experiment with, go ahead and leave them down in the comments there. So overall, I do give this a really good rating. I think especially for field use, it's really, really good. For taking with you, on the plane, I travel a lot, so having the ability to take that off is a big benefit for me. So I like that as well. So for field use, I really like it. The red lens filter, firefly mode, all that good stuff. For everyday carry, I'm still trying to figure out that one little piece, all right? But there you go, Thrunite. That was my review. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down there, down in the description. If you want to go check this out, you can find it on Amazon as well, over at the Thrunite website. We'll go ahead and leave a link for the Thrunite website on there as well. All right. And until the next broadcast, this is Jeff Anderson saying prepare, train, and survive.